Hello and welcome to another glorious read. I am your host, Aspen Sage. Let's get into it. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Sunday. I know usually I record on Friday or Saturday, but today's a Sunday, the day I have. And next week I will probably not be recording a podcast, mostly because we have a big project going on, and I won't have time to record unless it's during the week. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you guys a double review today. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited, but I also hope that everybody's having a fantastic beginning of their week. I hope that it's just enjoyable in general and just doing something crazy, but not too crazy, like legal crazy. But I know that I've been working hard between my books and my just in general reading also. So it's been a double. Plus my crafts, I've been making sun catchers, which are awesome. They're about 8-inch rings with a clear background with a picture on them that you hang in your window, and it really looks awesome. And I did make also some beautiful ideas with bookmarks. The bookmarks are a clear background with also a colorful picture on them. So far I had 3, but I sold 1, and I also sold a sun catcher with it. So that's exciting for at least me. I do love doing anything with books too. So when I can sell a bookmark or sell something book related, like my Kindle holders that go in between like a mattress, basically it's this piece of that slides in between the mattress, and it's a pocket for your Kindle or a book or whatever you want. And it's really cool. I like them. I keep mine on my side of the bed, and it's so handy because every night when I kind of get in that tired mood after reading and I start reading the same line over and over again, I like to put my book in its little cubby, and I at least know where it is and I don't lose it. But also, like I said, I've been doing my writing. I've been working on my third book. Nova's Soul Belongs to Pisces. So, like I said, I do want to get my second book and my first book redone and redistributed so that it is available to readers, and includes, I want it on a Kindle version for the Kindles and the paperback and hardcovers. Regardless, I can't wait to get that done so everybody can get a revision edition. And it's not going to be that different from the first one. It's just more detail. The storyline stays completely the same. The ending stays completely the same. There is nothing different about it, and it still flows into the other stories because that's how I write my books. I leave it off with a end piece that obviously tells you what the next book is going to be about. But enough with my rambling. Let's get into the book review. So like I said, this week I'm doing 2 book reviews because I don't plan on posting next week. So the first one is gonna actually be about the story Shot in the Dark. This is the one that I said I fell in love with. It's written by Annie Kendsley and Mary Dublin. The writing is fantastic. The storyline, fantastic. So this one's the one that I said was like a Ferngully mixed with the supernatural. I feel like they tried to base the main male character that Jon, and of course there's another one named Cliff. I think they tried to make Jon more Sam, if anybody's watched Supernatural. But it doesn't come off to me like that. He's more of a Dean. Dean, I guess, was supposed to be like Cliff. But for me, it's more, Jon is more Dean-ish. Just how he acts, how he's got this persona about him. And there's also Sylvia, who is our fairy in the book. So a little bit of rundown about the book is basically Sylvia likes to go to a cottage or a mansion and collect the trinkets, kind of like Tinkerbell in Disney would do. So Sylvia likes to collect things, shiny things, silver things, gemstones. But of course, they live in a tree. Again, it's like Ferngully. They're supposed to stay away from humans. Humans are dangerous. Hunters are like monsters. But she's got a little sister, a mom. There's no dad. And she collects things and gives them to her sister, and she thinks they're cool. And of course, she's got a lover named Damien. Of course, we also have our hunters, Cliff and Jon. During one of the nights that Sylvia goes to the mansion, she runs into Cliff and Jon, and they are taken back by her. They've never seen a fairy before. Cliff accidentally shoots her out of the sky with a bullet to her wing. They kind of kidnap her in a way and keep her to learn different things. And this is where one of those things where I think Cliff is more of a Sam character is because he illustrates and draws everything in this journal, and he's like writing down things about Sylvia, how she looks, doing illustration of her drawings, writing little notes on the side. This comes off to me as more of a Sam personality than a Dean, where Dean is more of the brute force, like Jon is in the book. He's constantly fighting for Sylvia. He's also very protective, especially when it comes to Cliff. So that's why I said I know that they're probably trying to do more of a Dean as Cliff and a Sam as a Jon, but as I read it, I can't. Again, so through this book, they come in contact with Sylvia. Sylvia's trying to escape. They keep her in her shoebox. They're very kind to her. They're kind of taken back by her a little bit because of the whole fairy thing. They didn't know they exist. But during this, they're also trying to fight a werewolf. This werewolf is changing dogs into weredogs that they end up fighting. They're trying to figure out who the werewolf is. And after a while of them figuring out the weredogs and that the werewolf is out there and the missing people, they finally take Sylvia back to her home in the forest behind the mansion where they first met. Upon Sylvia's return, she is not greeted in the most kindless way. Her mother is worried, her sister is worried, but the elder fairies and the guard and stuff treat her awfully, to the point where they actually mark her as a traitor to their kind because she heals a hunter. She helps hunters. She's a human lover now, and they can't accept that. So Jon comes back for Sylvia, and he sees the new mark that she has, and this again is one of those Dean moments where he says basically, "Who hurt you? Who did this to your beautiful face?" So Sylvia basically comes with a plan, goes, "Don't worry about it." But in the background of all this, she's also dealing with ancient magic. So something happens. I don't want to spoil the book because it gives so much detail. Something happens to one of the characters. Sylvia has to do something that involves her to get ancient magic. And now these ancient magic people are living in her head and draining her basically life form. She basically says that she wants help fight the werewolf because she has a sixth sense for other magical creatures and she would be very helpful. Jon says she's crazy. But he ends up bringing her back, and Cliff is like, "You kidnapped her again?" That's a little bit of a Dean moment, but I feel like that would be also a Samuel be like, "Dean, no." Like I said, I'm a big Supernatural fan, so I love this book. And I loved Ferngully growing up, because, again, that main female character was like, humans aren't so bad. This is Sylvia. Sylvia's the same way. So she goes, they help trying to find the werewolf. They're finding out who's the werewolf is. There's a big battle where they do find the werewolf, and they find out that it's a human accomplice. And yeah, they do end up dispatching the werewolf. Sylvia does return home, but she's not well. She's basically dying. These ancients are basically killing her. And she finally figures out if she says all three ancients' names, she can unbond them. During this, she's also feels Jon's pain. She has this unknown bond to him that she can't explain, and she has a feel that it has to do with something with the ancients' magic. Regardless, she finally says, "All right, I have to go to this spectrum realm to fight these ancients and try to save my life." So she has two ancient names, but not the third. Jon ends up basically going to the fairies and be like, I need a third name. He meets her mother, meets her sister, he meets Damien again, because him and Damien had a standoff between, no, Sylvia's my girl moment. Keep in mind, this is a full-grown adult human man, and she's about the size of a mouse. So it's a enemies to lovers book. And there is a point in the end of the book where they do become almost the same size in the Spectrum realm when Jon comes with a third name to save Sylvia. Again, she vanquishes the ancients, but because she brought the humans to their realm, or to her home, she is banished instead of executed, and she basically says, though, she's going to keep hunting with the hunters. She feels more open with them. She feels freer with them. So it's a great book. Spice level is very, very little. There is like a 1% or a 1 star on Spice. There is a lot of admiring of bodies, though. Sylvia sees Jon as a warrior and very handsome, and she thinks Cliff is handsome because he's like this cocky, like, pretty boy. And of course, Jon admires Sylvia because she's unique and unforgettable, and he goes like, he's never met a magical being or another creature that is actually very human-like. I give the book a 5 stars, so this was a good refresher for something that wasn't smut-related or dark romance. It is a very good book. Like I said, I'm a big Supernatural fan. I love Ferngully growing up. I am reading the second book, which I believe Shadows in the Dark. I don't want to get that wrong, but it might be. Either way, I'm very excited to see how this book is. And I mean, it already started out with vampires, so you know it's going to be good. And of course, Sylvia and Jon's relationship is also growing, so they're getting very close near the end of the book of the first one. But I'm going to leave it there. I definitely say it's a newer book. Pick it up, read it, support the authors. I think it's fantastic. It's a good palate cleaner. Now, going back to the not so clean is my second book review, and that is the new one from Navessa Allen, and it's caught up with Nico or Junior and Lauren. If you've read Lights Out, do not compare the books. They are on 2 different scales, but they're still pretty spicy. Nico being part of the mafia, Lauren being a sex worker. She's very, it's not spicy, but she is spicy. But she's, what's the word I'm looking for? Very tolerant. She's more open. She's very, like, she knows when to be proper and when to basically let her crazy side out. I love her. But these two had a past. So a rundown, basically, they had a past together. They were lovers. And then something happened where she was humiliated and Nico had to keep away from her. But now that things have happened, he's come back around. But it's been over a decade of him basically watching her. She basically says that he was stalking her, but he's like, no, I was offering my protection. Again, being part of the mafia, he's trying to be. Nico is also at the point in his life where he doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps. He doesn't want to be Junior no more. He wants to make an honest living. He wants to be with Lauren. He wants to be basically family with her. But his father won't let him go. So he's like, how am I going to escape my father, but yet be with the woman I love without basically ending her life? Because people are out to get her. He does some uncomfortable things, including going to a live club-like place. If you've heard my review on Aaron's obsession and Rodian's, revenge and Connor's claim, yes, same idea as the live places for sex workers to work. It's a very good book, though. It's so different than Josh and Allie's book, where it was more playful. Like, it was a lot more like giggles and like, are you kidding me? Joking around. This one's more of a, they can't control themselves around each other, and like, it's very spicy every time they come into contact. So he likes to call her Lo, and he's like one of her high paying subs because she's an online girl too, so she does private videos and stuff. So he's been basically her number one fan for as long as she started this. He's bought buildings for her, he's made things disappear for her, gotten her out of trouble, helped her with like clients and stuff. But he's also doing, obviously, his dad's work. It basically starts out in the book with her father disappearing, and her grandmother finally knows about it. You hear about her sister. This book is so different than Lights Out, but it's still so good. Spice level, solid 5. They're Energizer bunnies, especially with her line of work and him being like, I have never been with a more intense woman than her, and obviously going to her other business, or her, I can't say it's business. She is a partner in this business, and it's called Velvet. Of course, he joins a couple shows with her, and he's like, oh dear. He goes, I could never watch adult films the same. Like, he's like, I am done. I'm ruined. But it's a fantastic book. There are cute little sidekicks. Allie and Josh come around. Lauren has 2 roommates who are funny as can be. One is also another worker. One is a editor for the videos. And of course, in like the first book with Allie and Josh, there was Fred the cat. This one has a dog, and I love it because it's such a goofy German Shepherd who is just causes so many problems, but I love it, and his name is Walter. So I love these little side things that happen. There are family issues in this book. There are definitely other things that may be triggers for others. I don't really consider it a dark romance, but it is at the same time, because there are some blood and gore, and yeah, it's not as bad, I think, as Josh's past, but there are some things in here that are not so friendly. I love the book. 5 stars, 5 on the Spice rating. It's beautiful. Pick it up. I did the audiobook. I loved it. And especially the voice. Teddy Hamilton, like I said, does a really good voice, and all the other narrators. Just to be a narrator for a book is amazing to me, because you have to make sure you get the lines just right, but you can't read it naturally. Like, you actually have to like make the voice for the character come to life, and I love it. So I'm gonna say that definitely pick it up. It's definitely one that belongs on the shelf. It's definitely one of my top favorites. I'm gonna start losing space on shelves for like books I want. Like, I'm gonna need an entire room that I'm gonna call my mini library, just for all the books I want to put up, especially the ones I enjoy and definitely want a collection of. Like I said, that's caught up. Navessa Allen's, I love it. I kind of hope that she's gonna write another book. I don't know. Something tells me a nice one would be about his brothers, maybe. And of course, I love the mother in the book. The mother is just, I love her so much, especially where she's an Irish one. I love it. Like I said, Shot in the Dark, pick it up, caught up, pick it up. Loved both books. And there's more. Like I said, I'm reading the second book that goes with Shot in the Dark. There's also some more. Like I said, I have to finish the Liking book series that I was starting to read. I'm waiting in September for the another book to come out from the X-Clan series, V-Clan series, those Wolf Shifter books. There's so many I have on my to-read bookshelf. Like, it's not even funny. Like, I even been thinking, I'm like, I really should read Haunted Adeline, because I really want to read those books too. I don't know why. It's just calling to me. I gotta do it. But like I said, I love my spot. I love my shifters. I love my dragons and stuff like that. I just love it all. And it's great to read, especially at night when you're winding down or first thing in the morning when you're having that cup of coffee or cup of tea. There's something relaxing to get your mindset for the day with a good book. Now, if you leave off on like a really intense scene, then you're doomed because you're wondering about it and you're not going to be happy until you read that next chapter. That I've done multiple times. I'm like, I gotta know what's going to happen. The same with the ACOTAR book series. I am waiting for book number 5 to come out. And I'm like, or at least on my audio list from my library. And I'm like, anytime now. I need to know what goes on. I need to know what happens. So yeah, guys, find your favorite books. Go to a bookstore, pick something. Support a small indie author, big author. Go buy something book related. Like I said, there are so many local businesses out there that just need support from you guys out there, even if it's something so small. Something so small makes a lot difference in somebody's life. And it doesn't even have to be for you. Maybe it's a friend or a family member that you know of. Like I said, I was designing one of the bookmarks the other day, and I was like, wow, I think my friend would really like this, because I was really thinking about her as I made it. And as soon as I posted a picture, she was like, that is mine. I was like, okay. I'm like, it's funny because I was thinking of you when I was making it. And she goes, you know me well. But enjoy the rest of your days, guys. I will catch you not next week, but the week after our 4th of July and stuff. Like I said, we have a big project going on, so I can't delay it. But thank you for joining me, and I hope to catch you next time. And bye-bye.